How desperate do you have to be to chase a goaltender posting and .858 save percentage? That's the question lighting up hockey Twitter this week. And folks, the answer might just tell us everything we need to know about where the Edmonton Oilers really stand right now. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into one of the most bizarre trade rumors to emerge from the NHL rumor mill in recent memory. Because sometimes the most revealing stories aren't about what's happening on the ice. They're about what teams are willing to do when they're absolutely panicking behind closed doors. Let's set the scene. It's a quiet weekend in November. Most of us are scrolling through social media, checking the latest scores, maybe grabbing coffee. Then David Pagnotta drops a theory that immediately sends Oilers Nation into a frenzy. What if Montreal is willing to trade Sam Montembeault? And what if Edmonton, a team desperately searching for answers in net, decides to make a move? Now, before you dismiss this as pure fantasy, hear me out. There's actually a logical thread connecting these dots, even if the fabric feels a little threadbare. The premise is straightforward. Montreal's goaltending depth chart is shifting. Jacob Fowler is playing exceptional hockey down in Laval, turning heads and forcing conversations about his future. Jakub Dobes, the young prospect everyone's been waiting to blossom, is still developing, still learning what it means to handle consistent NHL minutes. That leaves Sam Montembeault caught in the middle, struggling through one of the most frustrating seasons of his career. The question becomes, does Montreal see him as part of their future, or are they quietly shopping him to any team willing to listen? Here's where it gets interesting, because the statistics paint a picture that's simultaneously damning and confusing. An .858 save percentage through 11 games. Let that sink in for a moment. That's not just below average, that's significantly below league standard. For context, an elite goaltender sits around .920 or higher. A league average starter hovers around .905. Montembeault, he's nearly 50 points below where he needs to be. But the individual performances? They're almost cartoonishly bad in their inconsistency. A .870 against Boston, rough but survivable. Then a .667 against Dallas. Yes, you read that correctly. 2/3 of a save percentage. That's the kind of performance that makes coaches question everything. Fans lose their minds, and front offices start making phone calls they never thought they'd make. Against Los Angeles, he posted .840, still below par, but showing marginal improvement. It's like watching someone trying to climb out of a hole, but every time they get a handhold, the dirt crumbles beneath their fingers. Here's the real question, though. Are the Canadiens giving Montembeault these starts because they believe in him and want to stabilize their crease? Or are they showcasing him for potential trade partners, hoping some desperate general manager will see potential where the stats suggest there is none? That distinction matters enormously. Earlier this season, the conversation in Montreal was entirely different. Fans were ready to hand the keys to Jakub Dobes. He was winning games. Montembeault was losing them. The narrative was simple. Generational change is coming, and it's coming now. Then Dobes had that post-game interview after the New Jersey game. Emotional, raw, honest about the toll of the NHL grind. And suddenly, Montreal's front office pumped the brakes. Hard, because here's what every smart organization understands. You don't break young talent by throwing them into the fire before they're ready. Dobes is talented, sure, but he's also still learning. Still developing the mental toughness that separates good goalies from great ones. The Canadiens made a calculated decision. Let the kid breathe. Let him develop at Laval. Don't rush him into a situation where failure becomes inevitable. That decision, though, creates a vacuum, and vacuums in professional sports get filled quickly, sometimes with desperation. So Montreal finds itself in an uncomfortable position. They don't believe Montembeault is their future. The numbers prove it. The eye test confirms it. But they're not ready to commit fully to Dobes yet. That leaves them with a goaltender they're losing faith in, but can't quite afford to abandon. Enter the trade market. Now let's talk about the Oilers, because this is where the rumor actually makes a twisted kind of sense. Edmonton's goaltending situation isn't just struggling, it's approaching catastrophic. Calvin Pickard has been, to put it diplomatically, arguably unplayable. We're talking performances that make you wonder how he's still getting starts. Stuart Skinner has shown improvement recently, and I want to emphasize recently. But there's palpable anxiety in the organization about whether he can be trusted as a long-term solution. The Oilers have Connor McDavid. They have Leon Draisaitl. They have the offensive firepower to compete with anyone in the league. But they're watching games slip away because the guy between the pipes can't stop pucks at an acceptable rate. That's not a personnel problem. That's an existential crisis. And when organizations face existential crises, they start considering options they'd normally dismiss outright. Options like acquiring a goaltender with a .858 save percentage. Options that make you question whether the front office has lost its collective mind or whether they're simply running out of alternatives. The chatter isn't that Edmonton wants Montembeault. It's that Edmonton might be desperate enough to consider him as a short-term bridge while they figure out their long-term solution. Is that a good idea? Probably not. But desperation has a way of making bad ideas seem reasonable. Here's where this rumor gets genuinely interesting. Jacob Fowler, the young goaltender, is tearing it up in Laval. We're talking performances that are forcing Montreal to have serious conversations about his timeline. If Fowler keeps playing like someone trying to force an NHL call-up before the organization is ready for him, the entire equation changes. Suddenly, Montreal has three viable goaltending options competing for minutes. Montembeault becomes the odd man out, the expendable piece, the asset that can be moved for future considerations. And if that door cracks open, if Montreal genuinely makes Montembeault available, the Oilers would be foolish not to at least explore it. Is Montembeault a savior? No. Is he a long-term solution? Absolutely not. But could he be a stabilizing presence for 20 to 30 games while Edmonton figures out their goaltending future? Maybe. Just maybe. Let's be honest. There's probably nothing to this trade talk. Montreal likely isn't shopping Montembeault. Edmonton probably isn't seriously considering him. This might just be one analyst theory that spiraled into a full-blown rumor because hockey fans are starving for drama and speculation. But the logic behind the rumor? That's not unfounded. It's not crazy. It's actually rooted in real organizational challenges that both teams are genuinely facing. Montreal needs to figure out their goaltending future. Edmonton needs immediate help in net. Sometimes in professional sports, those needs intersect in unexpected ways. Sometimes desperation meets opportunity, and suddenly, a trade that seems ridiculous on paper starts looking like a potential solution. So here's what we know. The Oilers are desperate. Montreal is uncertain. And sometimes in the NHL, uncertainty plus desperation equals a trade that nobody saw coming. Will this actually happen? Probably not. But the fact that we're even discussing it tells us something important about where both organizations stand right now. What do you think? Should Edmonton take a flyer on Montembeault? Or would that be organizational malpractice? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I genuinely want to hear what you think about this situation. And hey, if you enjoy breaking down this rumor with me, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the stories that matter in hockey. And let me know in the comments, what's the craziest goaltending trade you've ever seen? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.